Hi class, today we are looking at Chapter 15, Sport Sponsorship. And so what you see on your screen now looks similar to the PowerPoint that you have online. But what we're going to do today is just spend a few minutes really diving into what sport sponsorship is. And we're going to actually focus in on the in-game promotions and the in-store promotions and give you a few examples there. So just a little bit of review. What is sponsorship? And as you can see on your slide, let me make this a little bit bigger for you. As you can see here, this is a cash or in-kind fee paid to a property in return for access to the exploitable commercial potential associated with that property. But what does that mean? All right, so at this point, hopefully you have heard the word sponsorship. If you're a sport fan to any degree, you have seen this played out at games, in commercials, on jerseys. We're going to look at some specific examples. But why do companies pay? Why does UPS spend millions of dollars sponsoring the NFL or NCAA? You know, they give money to that sport organization so then they can be associated. Goes into fan loyalty, and when fans see that you're associated with UPS is associated with March Madness, for example, the thought is that fan then is going to use UPS over FedEx, right? So brand exposure. We'll talk about different benefits, but they're paying for that exposure. They're paying for that right to be associated with that sport organization, team, or athlete. All right, so let's move on. These sponsorship fees are, certainly exceed millions and millions of dollars. In fact, I just got finished lecturing earlier this week and looking at sport broadcast sponsorship packages. And off the top of my head, I'm thinking the NBA, their deal with ESPN and Turner was nearly $30 billion, maybe a little bit less than that, for the next 10 or 15 year span. That's considered a sponsorship. So that's just one example. Let's move on. And here on your screen, you can see some different examples of what we're talking about. Nike and their sponsorship or endorsement of Tiger Woods. You can see NASCAR. When you look at sponsorship, NASCAR really has figured this out and is really, they have the most loyal fan base from what research exposes. And so their sponsorship dollars are astronomical. So you can see those examples. All right, let's look at in-venue promotion. So when we're talking about in-venue promotions, we're looking at the things that you see happen during games. You all have been to collegiate games, maybe minor league baseball games, professional games, and at different times throughout the game, they'll stop the play and they'll get kids out on the field or out on the court or students out on the court if it's a collegiate competition, and they'll do these different promotions. Well, how that ties in with the sponsorship, the sponsors pay for those. All right, so Subway, for an example, is one of the ETSU basketball sponsors. And they bring kids out on the court, and you'll see the kids go through a number of different activities. They'll roll up, in a blanket. They're trying to make a sub. They'll actually bring real ingredients out on the side of the court during the game, and they make a contest out of it. And the winner gets, $50 gift certificate to Subway. So they're gaining that brand exposure, but they're also the ones putting up the money. All right, ETSU doesn't pay for that $50 gift certificate. The half-court shots I know Johnson City Honda is another example of ETSU basketball sponsors, and they sponsor the half court shot. And if you make it, you get $1,000 check written to you by Johnson City Honda. Right, these are in-venue promotions. You can see the T-shirts in the picture over here. T-shirts or towels that are laid out before you even get to your seat. Right, those are promotional items that are offered up by the sponsor. In-store promotions. You can see some examples here. These are when you see the kiosk or the big cardboard cutouts at the grocery store, at the sporting goods store, and it's part of the sponsorship activation. So you can see examples there as well. Why do sponsors give so much money? Well, here's some benefits that you can see. Apparel, merchandise. NFL Wilson is the official football of the NFL. On all of their, all the balls, you see that NFL logo. That's brand exposure for both. You see in the bottom middle a picture of a suite at a facility. All right, that's another benefit. You're going to sponsor a professional team that has this type of facility. Then in that sponsorship package, maybe that's part of the package. You have suite tickets or a whole suite devoted to your company or organization. You can bring in your sales team. You can offer incentives to help increase your sales by way of the sporting venue. And you see in the news conference, Coca-Cola is the official beverage of ETSU athletics, and that's going to be on the news, and right there you see their logo. Again, additional brand exposure. Signage is also a given. Sponsorship activation is very important too. I have some more pictures here, and it just shows that. So once the sponsorship deal happens, there's some work that has to be done on the sponsor side. You can't just hand over this money and it be done. You have to activate your sponsorship, and that's what you see in these pictures. How do you do that? You go to those home games, or in the top corner you see Bristol Motor Speedway and their guest welcome village. And in that village are all these sponsorship activations. They've got tents, they have promotions going on, they have cornhole tournaments, they have football toss games, they have ping pong games, they have sport lounges. They're giving out samples of their products. That's considered a sponsorship activation. And most of you have probably partaken in sponsorship activation games and activities without even realizing